Today I'm looking forward to discuss with you about pandas data frame, which is very heavily used in any Python program. Well, like in Excel spreadsheet or in SQL tables, we have rows and column. In Python data frame, we have rows and column, and today we are going to see how we can change index, how we can select a row, or how we can select a column, and how we can work around it. So once we know that we are going to work in pandas, the first thing is we got to import a pandas module. Well, in terms of IDE, I'm going to use my favorite Jupyter notebook, and feel free to use any IDE of your choice. Well, first let me import this pandas as PD. That means going forward, I'm going to refer all pandas module as PE. Well, then what we want to do is we want to read a file into a data frame. So I already have a CSV file, and that CSV file has a lot of information, and I'm reading that using a read CSV method in pandas, and then I say shape. That means on this data frame 0 I have so many rows and columns. Well, that being said, we can display that on screen that way, or I can also store that information into two variables as rows and column. So there are few ways. If you are writing a code and you want to store the number of rows and column, you can go the second way, but if you just want to display, maybe the first way. So it's all up to you. Well, now if I want to see all the information which has been loaded, there are few different ways I can look at the data frame. I can say data frame dot tail, which will show me the last 5 records. Okay, or I can just say data frame, or I can say data frame within square bracket colon. In that case, it will show me all of it. Well, when I say just colon, that means row number first to last. That's what it means. Now, let's say I want to do few other logic to explain how this works. If I write something like this, data frame 0, 2 colon 5, that means show me row numbers starting from 2 all the way up till 4 but not including 5. Let's execute this statement. If I execute this, then I can see here, I can see those information. But now if I want to explain you better, instead of tail, let me write here head, and when I execute this, I can see my index are 0 to 4, and here when I say 2 to 5, it selects row number 2 till 4 but not including 5. Okay, so basically it's going against index. So when we have an index of 4, it's actually row number 5. Okay, moving on. So next, let's see that if I want to figure out the name of all the column, is there a way we can figure out? Yes. Then the data frame has an attribute called columns, and when you display that, it shows you all the columns. So this particular data frame has a large number of column: app, category, rating, review, size, lots of it. So now if you want to just display one of the column, if that is what you are interested, we can do it in few different ways. Okay, so let me insert few rows. So if I say data frame dot app, it will just show one column. Okay, so now I'm able to see one column of that particular data frame, and it's showing all the records, and just for the convenience it's showing the top 5 and the bottom 5, no 6, but actually my bottom 5, and actually we have all of it. It's just for the sake of display, it's not showing all of it. Okay, now is there few different ways to achieve the same thing? Yes, there is one more way where we can put this information within quotes and in a square bracket, and if we display it would show a similar information. Sometime I like this because it has a quote, and by that even if the column name has some special information, space or anything else, then there is no confusion, and that way this is much neat. Okay, now let's say I want to display multiple columns, then how do I handle with this? Here I am passing in a list, and then it's very clear that I am referring to one particular column. But then what I do is I put double square bracket, so I am passing a list in the parenthesis. So that being said, I am passing a list in the square bracket. So this what happens is when we have a multiple columns, this one works out better, and now you can see this is showing multiple columns. So if you want to select a subset of a data frame, this is the way to go. Okay. Now what is the data type of any column in a data frame? The data type of a column is series. This is interesting because it is like a list. It has many entries, and the data type of the one column is series, and we have a collection of series that making up into a data frame. Okay. So once we have a particular column, on that column we can use a dot notation and use methods or functions on it. So let's see one of them here. I say data frame rating max. So what it would do is it would go to that column, find the maximum value, and it will show. Like in SQL we have select max particular column name. This is similar to that. In Python data frame we can just say the column name data frame dot column name dot max will return you the maximum value available. Okay. So if you want to do this in a different way, we can do it. Or let's say we have one more column which contain non-numerical information. Can you do a max on that? Yes, we can do. So basically internally what does Python do is it arranges all of the content like a dictionary in alphabetic order, and then it takes the maximum value. This is very interesting that the maximum and minimum value can be done for numerical value and a non-numerical value as well. Okay, so now let's say I want to find a mean value, and like max we can do mean as well. So rating dot mean will give you the mean value, and that shows up as such a long number because it's going to add all the number and divide by the number of rows. Okay, so then we are able to find the mean. Now we can find standard deviation of the same column rating, and the syntax is dot std, and that gives you standard deviation. And one of the feature which I like a lot is a describe. So on a data frame we can say describe, and what pandas would do is it would go and look for all numerical columns, and in this case we have only one numerical column which is a rating. It would take that and it would find more statistical information like the number of rows, the mean, the standard deviation, and all that stuff. And if you notice, this mean is same as this, and this standard deviation is same as this. So if you want to find a general information or the behavior, how a data frame looks like and what are its mean, what are the different quartile values, what is the maximum value, minimum value, then doing a describe is a best way to deal with it. Okay, and you have one more method called info on this data frame, and when you run this info, what happens is it is giving you more information about all the columns, data types, and all those information. So if you notice, only the rating is of float 64, and that's the reason when I do describe, it shows me only the rating, because we can do statistical detail only on numerical columns, and in non-numerical columns we cannot do that. So now we know that rating is the numerical column. So what else we can do on a numerical column? So if you want to select, like in SQL, we can say select employee where salary greater than so and so. Very similar to that, in data frame we can say rating greater than 4.9. So because it's a numerical field, we can do that. And if you notice here, all the rating 5 and basically 4.9 and above gets displayed. So this is pretty much like a SQL, where you can put where clause and you can do select, and it would show you 275 rows and all 13 columns that are available. Now we can also say equal to, very similar to SQL, where you can say some particular column like category, its value equal to game, then it would show me all the values available or all the rows available where the column category is game. Okay, so that way we can put our condition on the numerical column and a non-numerical column. Okay, let me explain you this particular piece of code little more. So if you notice here, I say data frame dot category. So that is the name of the column. In that column, it finds which variable or which cell have value game. So all the cell, it would keep all the cell by index and give value true, false. And based on that, only the true ones it's going to display, and that way we use the data frame 0 twice, one time to specify which rows to include and which not to include, and second one to say on this data frame include these rows. So this is pretty neat way to do, where we point it two times, one time to identify the rows to display and second time to actually display it. So pretty much the same logic was performed before. Here we said rating greater than 4.9, so it identifies the rows which has value greater than 4.9, and the subsequent one it does display them. Okay, so that's pretty neat. Now is there few other ways we can display information on a data frame? Yes, of course, there are lots of different ways we can display information. So here if you see, I say data frame app, data frame 0 app. That means I'm saying display me only the column 1, but I also say display where category is game. So what it's going to do, let's execute it. So if you see, it's going to display all the app column which has in the category column game. Okay, so if you see, basically this particular column I'm going to show this particular column, and if you look back, the values are same, right? So Candy Crush, Subway, and all those things is pretty much Winter Wonderland, and here you see Winter Wonderland. So that particular one column you can display. So let's say our goal is to see the name of the app and not everything else, then we can just display one column, and which has category column all games. Okay, so this is like having a select clause and a where clause in SQL. So this is the select criteria and this is the where criteria, something like that. Okay, now let's say I want to display multiple columns, and the where clause is similar to that. Yes, we can do, and you can guess this one. Like before, I'm going to put two square brackets and I'm going to pass the multiple columns, and then I'm going to have the same condition, filter condition, and the second one is the filter condition, first one is the select column. So I do multiple column with a constraint, and if I do that, Here I can see both the category and the app. That way we make sure that only game 1 is being displayed, only category equal to game is being displayed. Starting with line 24, here what I am doing is I am saying data frame 0 dot index. So it shows me what is the index on this particular data frame. It starts from 0 and all the way it goes to 10,841, which is a 1 after the stop. Okay. Now let's say I want to change my index. Is it possible? Yes, you can change your index by using data frame 0 dot set index as category. Then going forward, category is going to be my index. Well, what is this in place equal to true? When I say in place equal to true, it is going to use the same memory location and it's not going to create another data frame. Well, so now I have used the same data frame 0 and I have changed the index. Now when I say data frame 0 dot lock and I say the name of my category. So here for example art and design is one category, and if I say this and I enter, then it's going to show me all the rows which has category art and design. This is pretty neat. It's like a where clause in SQL where I say some key column equal to something. So now let's say instead of art and design, I change my mind and I say I want to change my where clause to medical. Let's say if I do medical, then now it's going to show me all rows with medical. Excellent. So we were able to change the index, and after that we were able to use a filter condition on that by using LOC. So this is very important to use LOC on the key column, okay, on the index. Okay. Now if you decide to change your index once again, can we? Yes. So the way to change your index is say reset index in place equal to true. That means I want the same data frame 0 to reset the index, and I say index equal to true, and now I can change to anything else I want. So now I say set it to rating now. So now rating is a numerical field and I say my index is a numerical field. One more thing to notice, this index is not required to be unique. We notice that before itself, see medical is repeating so many times. So these are not necessary a unique index. We can have duplicate value. Whether it's numerical or non-numerical doesn't matter. Now if I want to have a filter, we can have a filter on this index by LOC, and I say LOC 19, this is single label, and when I do this it's going to show me a series which has this value. So it will find the record with value 19 and it will display it here in a form of a series, okay, because it's only one row. Okay, so now let's include few more command lines. Now is it possible to have multiple um, rows? In that case how does it look like? Yes, so here if you notice I say LOC 3.9 comma 19. In this case we have multiple rows and columns, so output is going to be a subset of data frame which is another data frame. So that's the reason we have two square bracket, and the two square bracket enforce return of data frame. So if you see this output here, we have 387 rows and 12 columns, and it's showing it in this form, and this itself is a data frame. Okay. So that's it for today. So we learned how to create a data frame, and then we learned how to show columns, how to filter them, and then we learned how to use some statistical function, and then how to use the filter, and how to select rows and select series and select data frames. Okay, that's it for today. And if you have any question, please go ahead and leave it in the comments and I will be happy to get back to you. And I thank you for watching this video and I will see you again on my next one. Thank you and have a great day.